Jim, you're on the Larry Elder Show. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Hey, Larry. There's something that's perplexing me, and maybe you can help me with it. I've been watching every day since the election, but nobody has said anything about these contributors paying off our senators and congressmen. Why isn't there a law made preventing these people from doing that and put a Class A felony in front of that? And I guarantee you this stuff's going to stop really quick.
Well, if you're talking about lobbyists and their influence on our politicians, there are some rules, but they're easily skirted. Here is the bigger problem, and people don't talk about this. Government is too damn big. There is a First Amendment right to redress grievances, which is a fancy way of saying lobbying. The more government has its fingers in every aspect of our lives, the more you're going to have people trying to influence policy. We talked about a stat recently. 1900, federal government, 3%. Now it's about 38%. It's got its hands in everything. And once you have government having its hands in everything, you're going to have people to influence the outcome of those policies. And there's no way around that. So the bigger the government, the more lobbyists there are, the more things there are to lobby for. President Trump recently talked about the fact that at one time, the federal government funded its limited duties and obligations with tariffs. There wasn't an income tax until 1913. The biggest fund for America, because government has no money, it either taxes it, or it borrows it, which is nothing more than a tax on a deferred plan, or it prints it. It has no money. At one time, the largest source of revenue for government was tariffs, which was fine, because the government wasn't in everything. You didn't have Social Security. You didn't have Medicare. You didn't have Medicaid. You didn't have Children, Infant, and Women program and all these different various programs. There's a famous book called Democracy in America, written by a Frenchman named Alexis de Tocqueville. And Tocqueville came to America in the 1830s, and he was amazed at what were called mutual aid societies. These were lodges, organizations that were set up by individuals to provide things like health care and life insurance and welfare for families in need. There wasn't a big foot government doing these kinds of things until FDR during the Great Depression, and people falsely assume that FDR boarded a white horse and rode in and saved the world from the downsides of capitalism. When I was in high school, that's what I was taught. That FDR came in and passed all these New Deal programs, and without those New Deal programs, America would have remained in deep, deep voodoo. In fact, Lee Ohanian, who's written extensively about FDR, argues that the New Deal program deepened what was already a severe recession and lengthened the recession. That we were coming out of it, FDR made things worse. And if you don't believe Ohanian, believe FDR's then Secretary of Treasury, who wrote in his diary, "We've tried all these programs. We have spent money and spent money and spent money, and frankly, now we have higher unemployment than we had before. It made things worse." It's my long way of answering your question that you're not going to do anything at all about the number and the influence and the power of these lobbyists until you reduce the size of government so that lobbyists have nothing to lobby for.
Thanks for watching these clips from the Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.